What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Project X Talk. My name is Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today we have another episode of Game Pass in review. And let me tell you, it's a good one. If you like this content, make sure to hit the like button, share, and subscribe to our channel. If you want this content early, head on over to patreon.com/projectxtalk and come hang out with us in our Discord server, link down below. Today, we're talking about Nobody Saves the World from Drinkbox Studios. So grab a seat and let me tell you about the game that's currently my front runner for Game of the Year and that I guarantee is going to make a spot in my top 10 list. So, what is Nobody Saves the World? Well, first, I think we need to start with who are Drinkbox? And if you're unfamiliar with them, Drinkbox is an indie studio that many of you actually may have heard of because they had a hit with Guacamelee and lesser known games like Severed. While often associated with PlayStation, for the most recent game, Nobody Saves the World, the team's taken their talents to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass with a day one release. Nobody Saves the World is very different to Drinkbox's previous titles, and yet you can see this is a team that their experience and talent is growing as they have produced what, in my opinion, is their best game to date. Nobody Saves the World is a top-down action RPG where you take on the role of Nobody, who is basically this androgynous humanoid creature. The game begins with you waking up in a shack. You have no memory of what's going on, and you're told to go see the wizard Nostramagus. But when you arrive, he's missing. You do, however, find his assistant Randy and a very magic wand that lets you transform into different forms. You set off on a quest to regain your memory and defeat the evil known as the Calamity that is infesting the lands. Now, Nobody Saves the World will see you traveling around a covered map initially. You'll uncover it while fighting enemies, discovering and tackling a dozen or so dungeons, and occasionally getting story dialogue. I will say, if you're not typically a fan of RPGs because they tend to be dialogue heavy, then give this one a try. There isn't much dialogue here, as Drinkbox has gone for a simplistic story, and the dialogue that is in the game, I think, is hilarious. The game gets you in and out of dialogue very quickly and back into action. So if you're someone that just doesn't, mesh with dialogue or mashes through the dialogue, this game is actually pretty convenient in terms of RPGs because if you're just mashing, you don't have to worry about the dialogue choices, and you also don't have to worry about the dialogue choices because in Nobody Saves the World, they're just there for laughs. They don't impact the story or any of the outcomes because the choices are basically the same thing said multiple ways. You'll have nope or nope, you suck, something along those lines. Drinkbox clearly wanted you in the action for 90% of the game because this is where the game really shines brightest. Right after finding the wand, you are given your first form with the rat. Now, the leveling in Nobody Saves the World is not like other RPGs. You can't just go kill baddies and grind for experience like you could in Final Fantasy. In Nobody Saves the World, you level up by completing quests. There are two different types of quests. There are story-related quests, which just give you experience towards your overall level. These quests include things like completing certain dungeons, falling in love with a horse, doing tasks for Night Guild, and many more. There are also infinite quests you can buy from shopkeepers, which you can complete over and over again, and this will give you a continuous experience. These include kill baddies, open chests, get health items, and much more. However, the majority of levels come from completing form-specific quests. These are basically challenges you have to do as a specific character form. Each character form starts out as F rank, and you can level all the way up to S rank. You gain these character ranks by completing the character form quests, and as you rank up, you unlock more forms. You have a form tree with links that will show you what rank you need to be with what form to unlock the next one. But as you progress, forms will start having more links, so you'll be required to get each connected form to the appropriate rank in order to unlock it. These form quests are where you'll get the majority of your levels, and they provide both character form XP and level experience. They'll start off very easy, like use your basic A move, then your new X skill. But as you get higher and higher, they'll require more and more things, like hit 5 enemies at once with a certain move. But that isn't all, because this is actually a more in-depth RPG than you would expect, because you're able to customize each character form with passive abilities such as damage regens mana or health, familiars you summon explode, and much more. You are also able to use other forms' abilities on a different form. So say you really love summoning familiars with the magician, but you want to be the dragon. Just take the magician's move and put it on your dragon. The additional layer of customization is fantastic and allows you to explore whole new gameplay paths. It is also required because some form challenges will ask you to use certain passives or moves from other forms. Each area of the game is environmentally unique, which areas range from forest to ocean, deserts, graveyard, and much more. You'll find a lot of different enemies throughout each of these areas, and each area has a dungeon or two that has a theme. These procedurally generated dungeons can range from a science research lab to Candyland or the innards of a dragon or a whale. Dungeons can have unique modifiers such as exploding corpses or require you to use a certain element to break enemy wards. If you play on New Game Plus, this gets ramped up with every single dungeon having multiple wards and modifiers. Within the dungeon, you'll be tasked with finding several keys or killing enough enemies or other tasks in order to progress through the dungeon and get to the end level boss. If you're leveled up properly, none of these should really provide much difficulty, but if you aren't, then they could provide quite the challenge. Apart from that, there are a plethora of side quests to engage in, with you joining 3 different factions throughout the game. You have the Knights Guild, the Thieves Guild, and the Magicians Guild. So you just come across these. They give you lots of side quests. You'll find them along your travel, so keep an eye out for them. I really enjoyed the side quests in this game. There's only one that I found pretty difficult. It was the Advanced Archer Challenge. That one, not really that hard. If you think about it in a clever way, you can do it. Maybe save that one for the end of the game, but they could be things such as speaking to dolphins, doing the archery challenge, as I mentioned, or escorting a cat to deliver food. Now, I've heard this game can be a bit grindy, but I can't say that was my experience. I'll preface this and say that I played the game in co-op, which is a fantastic addition to this style of game and something I hope we see more of. If you're playing solo, just be wary of that. The soundtrack for me is another positive. Jin Guthrie delivers an absolutely stellar and fun soundtrack that'll get stuck in your head. Shout out to Randy's song for being an absolute banger. And if you play the game, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't figured it out yet, I highly recommend this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I sincerely hope everyone plays it. If you have played it, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to chat with you about it. But until next time, guys, my name's Kevin, aka the Muffin Man. Follow me over there on Twitter. That's a 1 instead of an I and an O instead of an A. Stay up to date with all our stuff by following at Project X Talk. And until next time, I'll see you. Goodbye.